सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिनी व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्द योगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान्स्मद्गुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि यत्साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वयमक्रियं तन्नमामि गुरुशिष्य योगिगम्योपदम् खानिलाग्ध्यर्थं स्रक्फणियो युत्कतं यतः हान्ततच्चिदे नमस्तस्मै हरये बुद्धिसाक्षिणे Manohar. Okay. So we looked at the 32nd verse, 31st and 32nd. What did it say? There are four categories of padarthas. One is praptasya prapti, another is apraptasya prapti, third is nivrittasya nivaranam, and fourth is anivrittasya nivaranam. So there are four categories. So here now, what is to be attained and not there? For that, there is some sadhana. And what is not done away with, you still have it and you want to do away with it. For that, there is some sadhana. But the other two categories where you already have something and you are trying to get it, that is a Brahma. And you already are free from something and you are still making an effort to do away with it, that is also a Brahma. So out of these four categories, two have Vyavaharika Satta and other two have Pratibhasika Satta. That is the idea which comes up now. So here, Bhavatu Evam. Bhavatu Evam means what? Here, examples were given, and then Yacha Anyad Vastu Vastuta Aparihrutam Alabdhancha. So Vastutaha Aparihrutam and Alabdhancha. These are the two. Meaning Vyavaharika Satta. Aparihruta, so for that, Chora Vyagradi, etc. Unlike the other example of what? Rakshasa in the shadow. So Chora Vyagradi, where Aparihrutam. So Chora comes to the house, you have to do something. There you cannot say that, oh, there is no Chora. So thief is there, then something has to be done. Vyagra, Sarpa or whatever, there's some troubling animal or something like that, wild animal, in somewhere in a forest area you are staying, then you have to do something to, make it run away, go away. Dukkha Karaka. And Vastutaha Alabdhancha, Vittadi. So you do not have enough resources, you have to make effort to get these resources. These are the two Vyavaharika categories. So what was the example for this? Alabdhancha, Sukha. So unlike this Sukha, which is what? Which is your Swarupa, Atma Swarupa. And Dukkha, which is not your Swarupa, you are trying to do away with that. That is for Aparihruta. But the example given was what? The shadow having Rakshasa for that. And the Alabdhancha, which is not really Alabdha. For that, the example was Kantagata Chamiraka. So Suvarna Bhushana. So those two examples where you think you have lost something, like the golden necklace, which is still around your neck, or you think you want to do away with something, like the Rakshasa in the shadow. These two categories are Pratibhasika. For that, the effort is Brahma. Because the problem itself is not there. That is a Brahma. So two categories are Pratibhasika and two are what? Two are Vyavaharika here. So bhavatu evam. This is the background of the four examples. Why the four examples have come up? Four categories. So bhavatu evam. Purvakshi says bhavatu evam. Let it be so. तथापि तत्र तस्य कथं प्राप्तिः परिहारो वा इति आकांक्षायाम् उत्तरश्लोकाभ्याम् अत्र उपायः प्रदर्श्यते इत्याह. Even if there are these four categories, two should be prapta and two are prapya and two are varjya, to be done away with. So what are the sadhanas for this? How can there be prapti for something and parihara of something that you don't want? Prapti of something that you want and parihara of something that you don't want. Iti akankshaam uttara shlokabhyam atra upayaha pradarshate. So two shlokas, 33rd and 34th, show how to deal with these four categories, which are actually what? Basically two categories, vyavaharika, pratibhasika, and in each of these, something is prapya and something is varjya. So here, tatra eteshu iti. Tippana says what? So there is a Pata Veda. That's okay. Tatra eteshu iti. So tatra eteshu in the Mula. Tatra eteshu chaturshu visheshu praptaye pariharaye cha. So two for which, prapti of which you need some effort. This is the thinking. And two others for parihara of which you need some effort. That's why karma. Be it laukika or vaidika. Here, tatra eteshu chaturshu vishayeshu. These are the four vishayas padarthas for which you need to make effort if you want prapti, and if you need parihara from it, then also you need effort. This is the Purva Paksha. So, prapte pariharaya cha vibhajya nyaya pradarshate. Vibhajya. So, what is the nyaya? Nyaya means what sadhana is needed. That is the nyaya here. Pradarshate. प्राप्तव्य परिहार्येषु ज्ञात्वोपायाञ्च्युतेः पृथक् कृत्वा तत्प्राप्नुयात् प्राप्यं तथानिष्टं जिहात्यपि. सो प्राप्तव्य परिहार्येषु सिंगल वर्ड. ज्ञात्वा उपायान् श्रुतेः पृथक् कृत्वा अथ प्राप्नुयात् प्राप्यं तथा अनिष्टं जहाति अपि. Jahatyapi. So what here? Prapnuyat, one verb. Another is jahati. So here, upaya nyatva. Knowing the upayas, pruthak. Shrutehe upayan pruthak nyatva. Or nyatva, rather, pruthak nyatva. Let's just say nyatva. Pruthak will take with krutva. Praptavya pariharyeshu. Something is needed. Praptavya. Praptum yogya, otherwise desirable, or something which can be attained. Pariharya is what? Something which is to be done away with, and it can be done away with. So those are the two categories. And Bahuvachana, so there are many in such categories. Two categories also there are many. Praptavya pariharyeshu vishayeshu artheshu. Upayanyatva. Shrutehe upayanyatva. What is the means to attain or do away with these? Knowing from what? From Shruti. Shrutehe upayanyatva means pruthak krutva, then separating. Atha pruthak krutva prapyam prapnuyat tatha anishtam api jahati. So somebody would try to get praptavya and do away with pariharya using the means as shown by the Shruti. So Shruti has means. We can say Shrutehe, Panchami we can take and say Upayan, Shrutehe Upayan Praptva. Nyatva, sorry, not Praptva, Nyatva, otherwise it will be Prapya. So here it is Nyatva, having known, and then Prapnuyat. Praptavyam Prapnuyat or Prapyam Prapnuyat, and here Anishtam Jahatyapi. Anishta is what? Pariharya. So there is means. However, what is praptavya? What is pariharya? That is prameya. prameya vishaya, which is praptavya, pariharya, artha vishaya, that is not the role of Shruti. You already think it is praptavya for you, pariharya for you. You think you are this kind of a person. Therefore, you are a pramata or karta, then praptavya or pariharya because you are a karta bhokta. This is not the role of Shruti. Shruti's role is to tell you what upayas, only upayas. Upayas are sought after by a bhokta who wants to become a particular kind of bhokta and not another kind of bhokta. Therefore, parihara is needed and praptavyastu prapti is needed. So he already thinks himself as a karta. Shruti does not tell you you are a karta. If you are a karta, if you have praptavya and pariharya, then these are the means to it. That's all. This is the 33rd verse. Tika. Tatra. Tatra means vastutaha aprapte swargado. That is tatra. Tatra here. Tatra he has marked. But this is that tatra. In the mula, tatra eteshu chaturshu. So what is that tatra? Vastutaha aprapte swargado. Swarga is aprapta. Vastuta aprapta. Right now we don't have swarga. So swarga is prapya. Vastuta aprapta right now. Then unto such vishayas like swarga ityadi and aparihrute, also aparihrute cha, which is not done away with, like what? Nirayadu. So naraka. Naraka also, right now we don't have naraka, all right. But naraka vasa is something that we do not want. We don't want naraka vasa. Swarga is not there, naraka is not there right now. But swarga is not prapta and not guaranteed to be prapta if I continue to not do any karma. And if I continue to do some papa karma, then, meaning karma in the sense earlier one, if I don't do any punya karma as defined in the Shastra, as revealed in the Shastra, then I won't get Swarga. So Swarga is aprapta now and it is not, not already in my adrushta as prapta. I don't feel I'm going to get it. Why? Because I have not done any punya karma, but I want it. So I need some karma which is revealed by the Shruti for Swarga. Similarly, Naraka is not prapta right now. Most of us will say, in some, this is Naraka. Particular places that we go to, it is Naraka. Or Anubhava, maybe Naraka Anubhava. We compare and we say, this is what Shastra says, this is, Naraka. But Naraka is not really prapta. Naraka is worse, unthinkable. Puranas give some glimpse to scare us away and keep us away from Papa Karma. So, Naraka already it is not prapta now. We might get it if we keep on continuing Papa Karma, doing Papa Karma. Therefore, we want to do away with that as a possibility also. So, aparihrityecha nirayadu agamataha tad upayan vibhagena parijnaya. So, he has taken pruthak, shrutehe pruthak nyatva. So, that is also pruthak can have daily dipanyayana, anvaya both sides. Pruthak nyatva and pruthak krutva. Or karma, krutva, karma having done this is upayan, nyatva and krutva cha. That's the idea. So, you can say pruthak nyatva atha krutva, meaning krutva cha. Having done, just knowing is not enough. Otherwise, Duryodhana also knew. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. That is not what we want to do. Not only knowing and staying by doing nothing. We want to know the upayas and we have to do the upayas. If we want the praptavya vishaya and pariharya, we want to do away with vishaya. So here, tatra vastuta aprapte swargado and aparihrutecha nirayado narakado agamatasta tadupayan vibhagena parijnaya. Nyatva means having known completely how to do it. Then what? Tadanantaram. Atha means tadanantaram. Anusthaya. Krutva. Having done it also. Because in Karma Kanda, just knowing is not sufficient. In Jnana Kanda, knowing is sufficient. But in Karma Kanda, Jnatva, Vijnaya, and then what? Krutva api. Anusthaya. Having done, Anusthana Janita Adruštavashat. Due to the Adrushta which is born out of this karma, whether for Swarga Prapti or a Naraka Nivarana. Kalantare tat phalam labhate. This adrushta will be kept in stock. Why? Because karma is over. If karma is over, how will you get phala later on? Swarga is not, Swargavasa is not attained immediately after the punya karma. And after papa karma, narakavasa is also not immediate. So it is somewhere later, after the drop of the body, most probably at the end of this janma itself, possible. If it is possible only after the dropping of the body, karma is over, the phala cannot be later because karma and phala, there has to be some connection. There has to be some connection. So for that connection, something should be there which fructifies into Swarga phala because karma is over. So what is that connects? That which connects. So Purva Mimamsaka think about something called as Adrushta. Adrushta is stored for the Jiva, and even if the karma is over, the phala can be later because this karma immediately it gives Adrushta, whether it is Swargavasa Adrushta or Narakavasa Adrushta, and this Adrushta gets converted into Swarga, converted in sense that is what really gives you Swarga or Naraka whenever it is due. Till then, Adrushta will be sitting there. And being Adrushta, it cannot be seen or known. Karma can be seen because you are doing it. It can be, the entire anubhav of karma is there. But Adrushta is not seen, not known. It is kept in store and then it will give the result of Swarga or Naraka. So, Kalantare tatphalam labhate. This is 33rd verse. Further, Swataha, for the 34th verse, Tikakara says, Swatastu apahruta स्वतस्तु अपहृत अवाप्तयोः अजानतः एव अतथा रूपेण अभिमतयोः बोधात् अज्ञान निवृत्त्या प्राप्ति परिहारो. दिस अतथा स्वतस्तु अपहृत अवाप्तयोः अजानतः अभिमतयोः बोधात् अज्ञान निवृत्त्या प्राप्ति परिहारो. Okay, Atatha Rupan is Mithya Jnana here. So the two categories have been dealt with. Out of the four, two which are Vyavaharika, they have been dealt with. Now, Pratibhasika, what about them? How do you get the Pratibhasika Prapya and Pratibhasika Pariharya? How do you do away with that? So to that he says, Swataha tu apahruta avaptayoho ajanataha eva atatha rupena. Atatha rupena means mithya rupena. What is that? Swataha eva, meaning swataha apahruta and avapta. That which is already not there, like the Rakshasa in the shadow, or that which is already there, like the Kantha Suvarna Bhushana. For that, what is the effort needed? That is Athata Rupena, meaning although you have the necklace in your, it is already there with you, you think it is lost. So Athata Rupena. Prapta, it is Prapta, but still you think it is Aprapta, it is lost. That is the example. But the reality, in the exemplified, it is the Sukha. Reality of this Sukha is not known as what? One's own Swarupa. It is seen as something which is Praptavya. So hankering after Vishya and then karma for attainment of that Sukha. Similarly, example for something which is not there, meaning it is already Pariharya. It is not Pariharya, it is basically already Varjita. Like what? Like the Rakshasa in the shadow. This is the example. In the exemplified, you want to do away with dukkha. Dukkha cannot be there in your, because in Atma, because Atma Swarupa itself is Sukha. Ananda Swarupa Atma. So that is the Atatha Rupena Abhimatayoho, what? Apahruta and Avaptayoho. That which is already done away with and already attained, you want to do away with and attain respectively. That is the atata rupa, mithya. Then how do you get the result what you are looking for? He says, bodhad tayoho bodhad ajnana nivritya prapti pariharo. How is the prapti of the avapta and parihara of the apahruta? So praptasya prapti and apahrutasya parihara. How can you get? Nothing needs to be done. You just have to know that you already have the necklace with you and there is no Rakshasa in the shadow at all. So only jnana is needed and jnana alone is needed. Jnana, other than jnana, nothing else can work also. Nothing is needed and nothing else will work. So karma is not needed and karma won't work. So what is needed here? Bodhad jnanat ajnana nivritya. Ajnanat nivritti takes place and then prapti of the avapta and parihara of the apahruta is the resultant. Natu karmana. Karma cannot do anything there. How much ever you try to try to get the necklace elsewhere, you try to search the necklace anywhere, but unless you know that it is already under around your neck, you won't get it. So of course, when you are searching, in the example, someone say, oh, when you are searching, the necklace may drop, when you're bending and looking over, or, you may see the necklace in the mirror or something. It is hidden. Assume that it is hidden. So somebody has to point it out to you. Only jnana will work, not karma. Similarly, how much ever you try to, run away, do any karma, but as long as the shadow is there and the buddhi of Rakshasa is there, that Rakshasa won't go away at all through any karma. The only way it will go away is when you know that there is no Rakshasa at all. It is my shadow. Wherever we run, the shadow will run with us. So here, natu karmana. मोह मात्रस्य एव तत्र प्रतिबंधकत्वात् न तत्र कर्म साध्यत्वम् इत्यर्थः. So what is the idea? Wherever you have moha as basis, ajnana as basis, there karma cannot do anything. Only vidya or what? Jnana. That will take away ajnana, avidya and avidya nivritya, ajnana nivritya eva prapti pariharo. For which the cause is moha, ajnana. Meaning what? Pratibhasika. In simple words, pratibhasika, which you already know. So pratibhasika prapti parihara haro jnanena. Jnanena eva bhavata. Natu karmana. Whereas what? The vyavaharika prapti pariharo to shastra sadhana or upayat bhavanti. Right? So this is the clarification made with the two categories of these four vastus, four vishayas. Now this is the 33rd and 34th verses done as an answer to Bhavatu Evam. Oh, so what about these four categories? How is the actual Prapti Parihara, you tell us? So Siddhanti mentioned two categories of Prapti Parihara are there. For one category, you need Shastra Upaya. Shastra reveals. That's all. That's its role. For the other two categories, Mithya Jnana is the basis and you need Jnana, and Jnana alone will work, not karma. Now the Purva Pakshi says, okay, for two categories it is needed, but what did you tell me earlier? You said Mithya Jnana is basis, so nothing is needed for moksha. So this does not answer that question, it doesn't settle the argument. So he says, Syatam Nama. Syatam Nama. Is there anything? Okay. So in the Tika itself, Syatam Nama Swatah Praptasya Atmanah Swata Eva Parihrutasya Cha Anatmanah Jnanamatra Prapti Pariharo. He says, let it be so. Earlier he says, Bhavatu Nama. Now, Syatam Nama. Same meaning, but Dvivachana here. Let there be Swatah Praptasya Atmanah Swata Eva Parihrutasya Cha Anatmanah Jnanamatra Prapti Pariharo. Meaning, Jnanamatrat Prapti hi Bhavatu. Kasya? He says, Jnanamatrat Prapti Praptasya Atmanah. Swatah eva Praptasya Atmanah ज्ञानमात्रादेव प्राप्तिः भवतु एंड स्वतः एव परिहृतस्य च अनात्मनः ज्ञानमात्रादेव परिहारः अपि भवतु. Let the prapti of something which is already attained, like basically what Atma is already attained because it is your Swarupa. We cannot do away with it. It is our Swarupa, it need not be attained also. So prapti of Atma is jnanena eva. Why? Because it is already prapta. Praptasya prapti jnanena. And parihrutasya parihara api jnanena eva. So he says, swatayeva parihrutasya cha anatmana. Anatma is parihruta. Therefore, parihara of that also is through jnana. Let it be so. However, निरतिशय आनंद लक्षणस्य निरस्त अशेष अनर्थ लक्षणस्य कथम ज्ञानादेव सिद्धिः. However, how is it that the niratishay ananda lakshana mokshasya moksha, which is characterized by what? Niratishay ananda. There is no ananda higher than that. It is the highest ananda. Nitya ananda. It will be permanent. It is not nitya. It will be permanent in the perspective of the Purapakshi also. That moksha should have ananda which will never go away. Further, what? Nirasta ashesha anartha lakshanasya mokshasya. Moksha also is what? It is also nirasta ashesha anartha lakshana. Meaning it is also characterized by having ashesha anartha nivrutti. Meaning what? Niratishaya ananda prapti and atyantika dukkha nivrutti. This is how you Vedanti you define what? Moksha. I agree, he says. How is that going to be attained by jnana? Katham jnana deva siddhihi. Not only jnana, but jnana deva, meaning not by karma or karma sakara. Not along with karma, not with karma, but only by jnana, you'll get this kind of moksha. How is it that this is not establishing the argument? It is not settling the argument. It is not establishing your claim. So, Atma Prapti is through Jnana, Anatma Nivritti is through Jnana, but Moksha Prapti is through Jnana has not been established. This has not been established. Tathabhutasya mokshasya samsara dashayam anupalambhat sadhyatva pratitehe. So he says, because this niratishay ananda lakshana moksha and nirasta ashesha anartha lakshana moksha, is it there now? For it to be there now, you have to have anubhava. Does each and every one of us have anubhava of I already have moksha? I have niratishay ananda and I have nirasta ashesha anartha. Does anyone right now, in fact, not anyone, everyone, Purvapakshi says that no one has this anubhava, everyone should have this anubhava if it is prapta, if moksha is already prapta. So he says, thereby what? Sadhyatva pratiti. There is a sadhyatva pratiti, meaning it is something that has to be attained. So if it has to be attained, it means it is not there now. So it is not prapta se prapti. If it is not prapta se prapti, then karmana eva bhavati natu jnanena. So he says samsara dashaya. Right now in the samsara dasha, anupalambhat, since it is not attained. Mokshasya anupalambhat. Sorry. Mokshasya anupalambhat apraptatvat sadhyatva pratitehe. There is pratiti of sadhyatva in moksha because it is not attained now. Therefore, it is sadhya. Being sadhya, that becomes the hetu. Sadhyatva pratitehe Mokshasya. Therefore, what? Jnanena na moksha. This is his argument. Iti ashankayam uttara shlokena uttaram uchyate ityaha. So the 35th verse is an answer to this. What is it? Kasmaditi. So Mula says, Kasmat. Kasmat punaha atmavastu yathatmya avabodha matradev abhilashita niratishaya sukha avapti nishesha dukkha nivritti bhavata. Dvivachana. The moksha, which has two factors, two aspects. One is what? Niratishya sukha prapti, avapti. And second is what? Nishesha dukkha nivritti. This kind of moksha, how is it that kasmat punaha atmavastu yathatmya avabodha matra deva? By atma jnana only. Avabodha matra is jnana matra. Jnana of what? Yathatmya. Yathatmya of what? Vastu. Brahma. Atma. Atma vastu. So how is it that jnana, through jnana alone you will get moksha of this type? Natu karmana iti. Abhilashita. Abhilashita means it is desired. What is desired? That kind of desire. What is desired? Continuous sukha and not even a moment of dukkha. That's what it means. Continuous ultimate sukha and not even a bit of dukkha. That kind of moksha is possible only through atma vastu yathatmya avabodha jnana and not through karma. How is it so? To this, the shloka is what? Before that, uchyate. The Tikakara gives another sangati. He says yadva. Otherwise, what? Second possibility is what? Yadva. Shuktika nikata upasarpanadi kriyaya rajatadi vibhramanam tatkarana ajnana nivritya nivritti darshanad atmajnana nivrittirapi karmana kim na syat iti ashankya pariharati. The example I gave is what the, even if you searching is a karma, still you won't find the necklace unless you have jnana. But somebody may say, but searching is karma, right? So karma has led to this necklace being found. Similarly, why not karma also allow you to find your Ananda Swarupa and thereby become means for moksha? Why not so? So Tikakara uses another example. He says what? Shuktika. Shuktika Rajata. So you see silver instead of the shell on the seashore in bright sunlight. That is Brahma. Now, Siddhanti's claim is Brahma Nivritti is only through Jnana, Yathartha Jnana. Brahma is Ayathartha Jnana, Atatha Jnana, and Nivritti is through Tathatva, Tatha Jnana, or what? Yathatmya, Yathartha Jnana. Why not through karma? Because he'll say, what he'll claim in the example, with the Shuktika Rajata, if you are seeing from a distance and you see it as silver because it is shining, when you go close, you'll still see shell. So going close is what? Is a karma. You approach the area where you see silver, you go there, and then suddenly what? You see there is no silver. You are no longer seeing silver. You are seeing a shell. So approaching the shell is a karma which removed your bhranti and led to mukti from your bhranti. Similarly, in the case of Atma also, bhavatu, karma, let karma be the reason for mukti. How do you make such a tall claim that jnana deva kaivalyam? Moksha is possible only due to jnana. So he gives an example, yadva shuktika nikata upasarpanadi kriyaya. Through the kriya karma, like what? Approaching the shukti. Nikata, going close, upasarpana. Slowly going towards that. Yes, slowly. When will you go slowly? When there is sarpa, running away will be fast. Approaching the sarpa will be slow. Similarly, what if you see silver and if you want silver, going away from silver will be slow, but going towards silver will be fast because of greed. Oh, let me pick up before someone else does it. So here, Shuktika Nikata Upasarpanadi Kriya through karma of approaching the Shuktika, going near the, that is karma. So Rajatadi Vibramana, so Rajata, you see, Rajata, silver, Adi Padena Sarpa for, and Shuktika, there Adi Padena, here, Rajju. But to find out whether it is Sarpa or not, somebody will not go close. Therefore, for Rajata, somebody might go close. Here, that example is better. So, Shuktika, one approaches the Shuktika area and tries to, basically not Shuktika area, he approaches the Rajata area. He is in the mind of the person who has Brahma, he is approaching the Rajata, not the Shuktika. But Siddhanti, not the Siddhanti, Purva Pakshi is saying that when he is approaching, actually he is approaching the Shuktika, although he has Brahma approaching the Rajata, and that Brahma will go away because he has not approached the Shuktika, he has approached the Rajata, but when he comes closer, he will see not Rajata but Shuktika. That is his claim. Therefore, is Shuktika Nikata Upasarpanadi Kriya Rajatadi Brahmanam Tatkarana Ajnana Nivritya Nivritti Darshanat. Then he says, let there be jnana as sadhana, but karma is still there. Because karma takes away ajnana. Here in this case, going closer, this Rajata Vibhrama, Vishesha Brahma of Rajata Ityadi, and Tatkarana Ajnana. Ajnana came, led to this Brahma, so that Brahma also went away, goes away, and Tatkarana, Brahma Karana, Ajnana also goes away. So Ajnana Nivritti is needed, I agree, but Ajnana Nivritti takes place only through Jnana, I don't agree, because karma also can do that. Ajnana Nivritya Nivritti Darshanat. Shuktika comes up as Shuktika, not as Rajata. So Brahma goes away. What was the karana for that? Ajnana. That Ajnana also went away. Therefore, Nivritti Darshanat Atma Jnana Nivrittirapi Karmana Kimna Syat. Iti Ashankya. Then why is it that Atma Jnana also be attained by Atma Ajnana Nivritti, and that Atma Ajnana Nivritti, let it take place due to karma. Karmana kim nasyat iti ashankya pariharati. Thereby he says no kasmat. So same two sangatis for kasmat. Kasmat punaha atmavastu yathatmya avabodha matradeva abhilashita niratishaya sukha vapti nishesha dukkha nivritti bhavatah. Natu karmana iti. To that the answer is in the shloka, which goes as what? Uchyate, he says first. Oh, I'll tell you why. कर्म ज्ञान समुत्थत्वात् नालं मोहापनुत्तये सम्यक् ज्ञानं विरोध्यस्य तामिस्रस्यांशुमानिव. So Amshuman iva. Amshuman is Surya, one who has sun rays. Amshus are sun rays. So Matup. So Amshava asya asti iti Amshuman. One who has the rays, meaning what? Sun, Surya. So Amshuman iva, an example, this is example. There is Virodha. Oh, first Padacheda. Karma ajnana samuttatvat. So karma, Padacheda, karma ajnana samuttatvat. That is a Padacheda. Karma is one word. Karma ajnana samuttatvat, single word. Na alam. मोहा अपनुत्तये. मोह से अपनुत्तये समस्त पद. सम्यक ज्ञानम. सम्यक ज्ञान. सम्यक can be separate also, it can be together. सम्यक ज्ञानम विरोध्यस्य तामिस्रस्य अंशुमान इव. So तामिस्रस्य is virodhya. To what? Prakasha, Surya. So Amshuman and Tamisra is what? Basically tamas, darkness. Darkness and prakasha, the way they are opposed to each other. That is the idea. Similarly, what? Karma and ajnana, jnana, samyak jnana and ajnana have virodha. But karma and ajnana don't have that virodha. So here it says karma. Why? What is the hetu? Karma is ajnana samutha. Born out of ajnana. Karma itself is born out of ajnana. We have seen earlier many times as to why there is no virodha between them. Because karya karana bhava is there. Karya is never opposed to karana. Karya is in fact, we are satkaryavadi. So we say karya is already in karana. If it is not in karana, let's say ghata is mrutkarya. Clay pot is born out of clay. Let's say that the clay pot is not in clay. Let's say that it is not there. If it is not there, then why should the ghata come from mrut only? Why not? I'll give you, let's say somebody says, I'll give you water. You make a ghata out of water. You cannot make. So this is the argument of the Sankhya also to Tarkikas. Tarkikas are asatkaryavadi. They say ghata is not there, ghata is newly born from mrut. All right. From Kapala, they'll say. But Kapala Dvaya, but they'll say ghata is not there, it is utpanna ghata, newly made. To this Sankhya says that if it is newly made, there is abhava of ghata and then it is born from something, right? What is that something? You say, okay, Kapala Dvaya or Mrut. Why Kapala Dvaya? You bring it from something else. Bring it from water. Bring it from Tantu. Why is it that Tantu and Pata have Karyakarana Bhava and Mrut and Ghata have Karyakarana Bhava, but it cannot be, crossed across? So, Sankhya says that there is definitely Ghata in the Mrut itself. Like the sculptor, you give from the stone, he'll carve out the Murti. So, Karya is already there in Karana. What does it mean really in this particular Sandarbha? Karya being in Karana means Karya continues to have the Karana Svabhava. So Ajnana, karma is Ajnana Samutha, born out of Ajnana. So karma is not opposed to Ajnana because in Svabhava it is like Ajnana only. Whatever are the flaws with Ajnana, same are with karma also. So karma Ajnana Samuthatvat Moha Apanuttaye Alam na bhavati. Alam means Paryaptam na bhavati here. It is not enough, not sufficient. Why? Because it is born out of Ajnana. How will it counter Ajnana? Because moha apanutte, moha is what? Ajnana karya. So to remove moha, it has to remove ajnana. To remove ajnana, it is not sufficient. It is not, you should not say sufficient really. Alam means not, it is not yogya also. Yogyata itself is not there because it is having the same swabhava as ajnana. So, it's like a simple example. Chaitra and Maitra are what? They are brothers. Chaitra is playing cricket and mother sends Maitra to call him back. He is playing outside, you call him back. Maitra likes what Chaitra is doing. He just wanted to step out of the house. He went in and he says that I'll call Chaitra. He went there and he started playing. Neither came back. So this is the city. You send out karma to take away ajnana. Karma will go with ajnana and make it dhrida. So both will be there. It's not that one will go away. So here, similar situation. Karma mohapanuttaye ajnana samuttatvat na alam bhavati. However, samyajnanam too, you can read samyajnanam too virodhyasya ajnanasya. Amshumanivat here, so samyajnanam. So samyajnanam, there's whether there is a 36th verse which is in continuation, I don't think so. But you have to do some adhyara to make the sentence complete. So samyajnanam, unlike samyajnanam. So samyajnanam mohapanuttaye virodhyasya tamisrasya amshumaniva bhavati, you can say. So alam bhavati. So alam you can bring in. Alam bhavati. Na will have anvaya in the earlier case. In the second half, na will not have anvaya. So we'll say samyajnanam virodhyasya ajnanasya tamisrasya amshumaniva bhavati, meaning what? Alam bhavati. So prakasha is opposed to tamas, but if prakasha is strong, tamas will no longer be there. Similarly, samyajnana, if it is stronger, then ajnana will no longer be there. But if samyajnana is weak, then it won't work. Therefore, the example is Amshumaniva, like Surya. No darkness will stand in front of Surya. Okay, we will not take the examples of, black hole, etc. That much is the example here. So, that is the 35th verse in Mula. In the Tika, Kasmat we had seen. So, further, so second Sangati Kasmat Ityan. Ayam Bhavaha. What is the idea? Ukta Lakshanasya Mokshasya Atma Swabhava Swabhavatva Swabhavatva api. Sorry. So, Ayam Bhava Ukta Lakshanasya Mokshasya Atma Swabhavatve api अज्ञान पिहितत्वात् संसार दशायाम अप्रतिभासः. Purva Pakshi had asked, but there is no such anubhava of moksha being prapta, meaning what, niratishay sukha being there, and ashesha, nishesha, anartha nivrutti being there. That is not the anubhava in samsara dashayam. So why so? Because it is anupalabhya. What? Anupalabdha. He had said what? He had said mokshasya, not mokshasya here. He had said samsara dashayam anupalambat. Kasya anupalambat? Meaning anubhava not being there. Of what? Of moksha. What kind of moksha? Niratasya ananda lakshana and nirasta ashesha anartha lakshana. Tatha bhutasya mokshasya samsara dashayam anupalambat. Katham jnanadev sadhyat siddhi, because sadhyatva pratiti is there. If what is sadhya, how can it be attained by jnana? Sadhya cannot be attained by jnana. Sadhya needs karma as sadhana. So this answer given is ukta lakshanasya mokshasya atma swabhavatve api. It is atma swabhava. If it is atma swabhava, it need not be attained because it is you. Still, why there is no anubhava in samsara dasha? Siddhanti says, even so, he says, Siddhanti's answer is, even so, ajnana pihitatvat. Pihita means acharita. Because there is avarna. On atma, there is avarna of ajnana. Therefore, in samsara dashayam apratibhasa. It is not aprapta. But aprapta iva pratibhasaha. Therefore, what? Atmana mokshasya apratibhasa. We don't know that it is prapta. Therefore, moksha is not known. Ananda prapti, although it is already prapta, still there is no anubhava. Why? Because it is hidden. It is acharita, pihita. Natu tasya tadanim abhavat. Anupalambat is not true, meaning it is not there. Anubhava is not there is okay, but it is not there, you cannot say. Anubhava also you cannot deny because in Sushupti there is Anubhava. So if you have more Anubhava with something else, then that other Anubhava of Dukkha is clouding the understanding. That is the Pitattvam or Acharitattvam, Ajnana Avarna. Natu Tadanim, Tadanim means Samsara Dashayam Abhavat itina, Mokshasya Abhavat itina. Atma Swarupa Moksha is already prapta. Vrityatmaka Jnana is not there, but Swarupa Jnana is there. Jnana in Swarupa is there because it is you. So Purvokta Pratyakshadina Pramanena Tat Swabhavatva Nirdharanat. Why? Purvokta Pratyakshadina Pramanena Tat Swabhavatva Nirdharanat. We have got a very different understanding of Atma. Pratyakshadi, both ways it can be read. Pratyakshadi, because here Tadanim Abhavat he is saying. Why? Because in Sushupti we have shown, there is example of Sushupti. So Nirdharana is there. It has already been shown that Atma Swarupa is there and it is clouded. We have already shown that. In Sushupti example also it is known. Tasya cha ajnanasya jnanadeva nivrittihi. And since this ajnana pitattvam is there, to take away the avarna, ajnana has to go away. And ajnana can go away only by jnana. Therefore, tasya cha ajnanasya jnanadeva nivritti. Tathapi loke drishtatvat. And in the world also it is very well known. Now the Purvapakshi may say, you are saying it is already known in the world. What about my example? What about my example that when the Shuktika is seen as Rajata, you use karma to approach that and Ajnana Nivritti takes place. Ajnana of Nivritti and Brahma Nivritti of Rajata takes place and you see Shuktika as Shuktika. Similarly, why can't karma be there? How do you say Loke Tatha Api Drishtatvat? To this Siddhanti answers, oh, that example you gave, I have not forgotten that. Loke api jnanena eva ajnana nivaranam drushtam. That's a fact. Purva Pakshi says, but my example is, there is Vyabhichara there. It is showing that karma also leads to ajnana nivritti. Siddhanti says, no, why? Nikata upasarpanadestu na sakshad ajnana nivartakatvam. Approaching the area where you see Rajata instead of Shuktika, that is not the solution. That will not take away Ajnana. That is not Sakshat Karana for Ajnana Nivritti. Why? Sakshat Ajnana Nivartakatvam na. This Nikata Upasarpanadehi means what? Nikata Upasarpanadi Kriya. Kriyayaha. Why? He says Samyak Jnana Utpatti Matra Karanatvena Anyatha Siddhatvat. He says because it has already been established that Shuktika is seen as Shuktika, whereby the Rajata Brahma Nivritti takes place only by Shuktika Jnana. Rather, only when Shuktika is known as Shuktika, then alone there is Rajata Brahma Nivritti. Seen in the sense what? Known. Only through Jnana. This is the Anyatha Siddhi. Samyak Jnana Utpatti Matra Karanatvena. Only when there is Samyak Jnana, correct knowledge that Shuktika is Shuktika. It is a shell. Shell is seen as a shell, means known as a shell, not as Shuktika. Then alone that Shuktika Brahma will go away, Ajnana Nivritti takes place. Why? How do you claim such a thing? He says, Tatrastasya eva adishthana avalokene kadachit brahma nivrittehe nikata upasriptasyapi adishthana anavalokane brahma anivrittescha iti. How so? Siddhanti says that, let's say the person is seeing silver from a distance. If someone tells him that it is not silver, but it is what? It is Shuktika. It is a shell. Not Rajata, but Shuktika. Not silver, but shell. And he is able to see the shell. He is able to understand. So from a distance also he can see the shell. He can know the shell. Seeing is what? Knowing. Jnanendriya. That's why I call Chakshurindriya is not Karmendriya. It is Jnanendriya. So Shuktika Jnana takes place. When you see Ghata, Ghata Maham Janami. When you see Rajatam, Rajatam Maham Janami. When you see Shuktika, Shuktika Maham Janami. So Shuktika, seeing Shuktika is not karma. Seeing Shuktika is Jnana. And that can happen from a distance also. So from the same place where he is standing and seeing silver, he may see, no, it is a shell. Whether someone tells him or he himself sees shell, still Ajnana Nivritti takes place from a distance without approaching Kriya. Right? Therefore, approaching the area is not, that karma is not the cause for Ajnana Nivritti of Rajata. Second is that even if someone approaches there, he is very close to the Shuktika, but he sees his Rajata. Why? Because it is still shining. That is also possible. So tatrastasya means at a distance itself, somebody who is standing, adishthana avalokane, adishthana being Shuktika, having seen adishthana, when he sees adishthana, Shuktika, kadachit brahma nivritti is possible. Brahma nivritti hai. So that is the hetu, because Brahma nivritti takes place even from a distance, and nikata upasuptasya api, one who has come close to the area where Shuktika is there, adishthana anavalokane, and he still does not see the shell. Jnana Utpatti does not take place, Ajnana Nivritti won't take place. Even if he's standing right there, he may see it as Rajata, Brahma Nivrittescha iti. So approaching near is not the reason. Somebody who has approached near does not see, and somebody who is at a distance who has not approached near, he sees. And that takes away Brahma because Ajnana Nivritti. So karma is not the reason. Jnana is the reason. That is the Loka Prasiddhi, Loke Drishtatvat. So we'll stop here. 35th is done. We'll look at 36 in the next part. Yat sakshat Satchidanandam Pratyagadvayam Tannamami Nrusyasya Yogi Gamyam Parampadam. Okay. Namaste, Dhanyavada.
धन्यवादः।